Good evening and welcome. I'm Chris Parnell.
Reporting from Moscow.
Tbilisi.
Times Square.
May your dreams be your only boundaries in life.
Hey there, GHS, and welcome to another episode of Red Devil Postgame. I'm your host, Cave Gilani. Well, the only drama tonight at Red Devil Field was who would be crowned homecoming queen. And after Alexis Clark took that honor, the Red Devils finished off Kingsbury with a score of 41-0. This was a great win for Germantown against a familiar homecoming opponent. Game analyst McLean Mayers has the story.
With both Germantown and Kingsbury coming into this game 0-5, it was clear that this homecoming game was going to be an exciting one. After a shaky start for the Falcons, the Devils capitalized on a missed snap punt and went to work on offense at the Kingsbury 1-yard line. The very next play, Germantown's Cameron Chouari was in the end zone, giving the Devils a 7-0 lead. At the start of the second quarter, Germantown went right back to work. The first play of the quarter, GHS's Aubrey Miller scored the Devils' second touchdown, making it 14-0. Throughout the first half, the Devils' defense was nothing less than spectacular. With another G-Town touchdown by Aubrey Miller, the Devils were up 21-0 going into halftime. At the start of the second half, the Devils continued their superior running, with Cameron Chouari and Aubrey Miller leading the Devils' offense. On Germantown's first drive, Cameron Chouari rushed for another stellar Red Devil touchdown, giving the Devils a 27-0 lead. After Cameron Chouari was shaken up on a hard hit, though, Germantown wasn't able to convert on fourth down, giving the Falcons the ball in Germantown territory. Unable to capitalize, though, the Falcons punted away the ball to start the fourth quarter. Immediately, the Devils' offense went back to work as Germantown's Quentin Jamison broke out on a 30-yard rushing touchdown, giving the Devils a 34-0 lead. Halfway through the fourth, it was clear that the Red Devils were in complete control of this game. The Devils' offense was running full speed ahead. On a nice 10-yard dash, Germantown's Jalen Thomas added another 6 to the Devils' lead, increasing the score to 41-0. With a blowout win, the Devils will be looking to extend the win streak as the season moves on.
So, you know, McLean, it's really great to finally see the Red Devils with a win on the board.
It is.
But one of the things I was really curious about, it says on the stat sheet that we only had 5 passing yards all game and 1 of 4 completions in passing. So how did we win 41-0 with only 5 yards of passing?
Well, it's because we didn't even need that passing game. I mean, the passing game really, literally was tonight really just a cushion. I mean, we had 3 great running backs in Cameron Chouari, the starter, Aubrey Miller, who would come in when Cameron went off, and we had Jamison Quentin, who came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Exploded for 2 touchdowns, just merely adding to the score. So we didn't need them. Like the passing game just didn't need to happen tonight.
Okay, but you know, for the past 5 games, even though we lost, I kept seeing an increase in the amount of defense that we put in every night. How did the defense look tonight?
Well, the defense looked very nice. I mean, obviously, when you don't let a team put on a point on the board, obviously your defense did something right that night. And I think that plays into the equation that something that the coaches and the players put together, that obviously the formula that they're using right now is working, and it'll create that confidence going into the next couple weeks.
Okay. One more thing was that numerous coaches said that Germantown could still make the playoffs, but they would need run table. Can you please explain that to the viewers?
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible for Germantown to miss the playoffs, or to make the playoffs, but they will have to run the table. I mean, there definitely will be some magic that's going to need to happen. But hopefully in the next couple games, the Devils will win out and maybe we'll see them in the postseason.
All right, well, just to close it out, one last question. What do you see Germantown doing in the next few games?
You know, I'd see them going into the next couple games with a lot of confidence, obviously. You know, they got that big first win. They can go into these next couple games not worrying about it, and they can just focus on what needs to get done.
Right, perfect. Thank you so much. Now, it's great to see the Red Devils finally get their first win of the season, and on such a great night, too. One person who I know is happy about this win is Red Devil head coach Charlie White. Reporter Kaylin Coulter caught up with Coach White after tonight's game.
Thanks, Kate. I'm here with Coach White. Now, Coach White, how does it feel to have a win under your belt and see all the players' hard work paying off?
Oh, you know, it was really great tonight to see these kids come out and play hard and be successful. So any win's a good win, but we needed this one badly.
And some of the players from the 2003 state championship team were here. So how does it feel to have a win in front of them tonight?
Oh, that was pretty special. Of course, that was a special group, and I was able to see some of them down there. So that's what homecoming's about. And, you know, it was a special night to see those guys here.
And now that we do have a win under our belt, what is your strategy to keep the winning mentality in the players' minds?
We just got to take them one at a time and win them one Friday night at a time.
Thanks, Coach White. And now we're going to jump to Damaris Diaz with one of our featured players at tonight's game.
Thanks, Kaylin. I'm here with number 9, Ken Wilson. So, Ken, what was it like to pull a victory on homecoming night?
Man, you know, it felt good, especially doing it in front of our crowd.
How do you think this game was different from the previous games we've had?
I feel like we just played hard, we made plays, we executed.
After this win, what are you expecting for the next game?
Man, just do the same thing tonight. You know, we got Ridgeway, so we just got to make sure we play harder, attack them, just make plays on offense and defense.
Well, thank you, Ken. I'm excited for next week's game. Back to you, Keith.
You know, it's great to see the players on the team have such a great attitude each and every week coming in to games. So
yeah, and I think that's been something that's, you know, started from the Millington game and it's worked all its way to this homecoming game. You know, obviously the team has really bonded together over the past couple games.
Definitely. We'll now look at a report done by Brian Scott and Connor Sackett on a Germantown coach who started off at the same place as his athletes. Check it out.
It can be said that Coach David Stooksbury leads Red Devil Red in the classroom and on the field.
My role here at Germantown High School is I'm a U.S. history teacher and a world history teacher, and I also coach quarterbacks on the varsity football team.
Coach Stooksbury was also a key football player for the Red Devils.
I was a quarterback and a free safety, and was lucky enough to play in college as well. Played at Austin Peay State University.
After a 22-year break from the Germantown sidelines, Coach Stooksbury returned last year to help inspire his students and players.
I've always been a big believer in giving back, especially from where you came from. For me, being able to work with young people is something it's very special.
In 1991, his senior year, Coach Stooksbury added to his numerous accomplishments by leading the 91 Red Devils to ultimate success.
We played in the state championship my senior year. Didn't win, unfortunately.
While he might not have won the big game, he'll never forget the friends and memories he made along the way.
Being with the guys, on Friday nights and the practices and the traveling and the games, more than anything else, if I were to miss anything, it would be that. Just that camaraderie that you have and that you get on a daily basis that you can't find anywhere else. It's so special.
So I guess you could say this history teacher is a historic Red Devil. Reporting for GHS-TV, I'm Brian Scott.
You know, Coach Stooksbury is really a great coach, and I love that he actually started as a Red Devil himself.
Yeah, I mean, he was a student and he became a teacher, and now he's coaching for his old team. I mean, he really shows that he bleeds the Red Devil red.
Exactly. So here are some updates from our area. Whitehaven beat Ridgeway in a Dandy Dozen showdown by a score of 34-30. White Station lost to Christian Brothers 39-24, and Houston beat Bartlett by a score of 40-7. Also, Kirby put the beat down on Overton with a 55-10 victory. Now I'll toss it over to Kennedy Harris with a special report on a class at Germantown who celebrated their 10-year reunion tonight.
Thanks, Cave. The Germantown High School class of 2004 celebrated their 10-year reunion at tonight's homecoming game. I was there along with videographer Will Alton as we talked with some of the alum about their favorite moments. and the 2004 championship team.
So,
right here? Yeah, right there.
That's a memorable moment, like I said. State championship.
The 2004 state championship team was a big topic of conversation Friday night as the Germantown High class of 04 held their 10-year reunion at the Kingsbury game.
The excitement was crazy. I still remember it like it was yesterday, honestly.
That was just really cool, everybody being at MTSU together, and we supported our football team, and they won.
Honestly, I was a little dazed. I think I may have had a slight concussion in that game or something. I took a hard hit beginning of the game on a punt, and after it was just so surreal to think high school career was over. We won state championship. You know, kind of the culmination of all those things was just surreal in that moment.
But the title game isn't the only moment these alumni remember from their time as Red Devils.
I mean, I think it's just hanging out with all your friends and, you know, being on the football team. I mean, you kind of grow a bond with all those guys.
For these graduates, it was a night to walk the GHS sidelines again and to reconnect with their Red Devil family.
You know, everybody was real excited to come, and so there was no problem showing up and getting to see everybody again.
And just to connect with everybody again. I mean, I know we have social media and Facebook and all that stuff, so it's kind of easier to keep up with people these days, but to actually see them and reminisce on everything is going to be awesome.
Reporting from GHS-TV, I'm Kennedy Harris.
Now let's take a look at the 15 AAA standings. So Houston, Collierville, and Ridgeway, all with a record of 2-0, are currently at the top of the district standings. Obviously, Houston with a great record of 6-0. And then when we look at the bottom of the district rankings, we got Kirby, Wooddale, Germantown. They each have one win so far, but no district wins. So, we'll see how that goes in the future. Next week, Germantown has a big district game. They'll actually, speaking of district rankings, next week, Germantown will travel to Ridgeway to take them on. Today, Ridgeway and Whitehaven faced off in a nail-biter game. Both teams were ranked in the Dandy Dozen, and they looked to gain an advantage in seeding for the playoffs. Ridgeway was up by 2 points until Whitehaven scored with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Ridgeway couldn't capitalize and lost by 4. It would seem that Ridgeway is now hungry for a win, and Germantown is where they want to get it. Come out and support your Red Devils in this important game at Ridgeway next week on October 3rd. And after Ridgeway, Germantown will face Southwind, Kirby, and Wooddale. So make sure you come out to these important games which could determine whether we make the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in to the homecoming edition of Red Devil Postgame. I'm your host, Kaif Gilani, and we'll see you next time.